The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Hi folks, today on Aging Horizons we're going to be talking with Gabe Gores from the Missoula Aging Services, which is one of our great area agencies on aging in Montana. We're going to talk about what they do at the Area Agency on Aging, the kind of assistance you can get and resources, but we're also going to be talking about memory care today. Missoula Aging Services has been working hard on a project and we want to share it with you, so stay tuned.
No one likes to have to ask for help. It's a courageous act.
Sarah Solomon, Energy Share Coordinator.
Our clients work hard, sometimes at 2 or even 3 jobs, but still struggle to keep the heat on. They're doing everything they can. They're proud and they don't give up. I feel inspired and honored to work together with these Montana families.
To donate, call 888-779-7589 or go to EnergyShareMT.com. Energy Share, you can help your neighbor stay warm.
I have so many questions about power of attorney.
Well, some powers of attorney are for finances and others are for healthcare decisions.
A power of attorney designates an agent who would make decisions on your behalf.
While making a power of attorney, you have the ability to control your agent's power.
You also have the ability to decide when that POA would take effect.
Wait, am I giving away all my rights?
Power of attorney isn't a license to make any decision for you, just those that you've specified.
Your agent should be somebody that's working in your best interest, but it should also be somebody that you would trust.
What if they try to abuse their power?
Protective measures like third-party accounting, secondary signatures, defined spending and gifting limits can help protect against financial exploitation. An agent's powers can always be limited by a customized power of attorney, and they can be revoked by you or the court if the power of attorney is abused.
So carefully drafted estate planning documents can help ensure that your finances are monitored, but not abused.
If you or someone you know is being exploited, please report to Aging Services Bureau at 844-277-9300 or the Legal Service Developer at 1-800-332-2272. This message sponsored by the DPHHS Aging Service Bureau.
Respite care is amazing. If you are capable of doing it, the rewards are beyond measure.
Stephanie Young, respite care provider, on the unexpected benefits of helping people in need.
Being a respite care provider is an amazing experience. It's something that what you give, you get back 100-fold. You receive so much more than you could ever imagine.
To find out how to change lives, including your own, go to respite.mt.gov.
Hello everyone and welcome to Aging Horizons, brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm your host, Kimmy Everman, and today we're going to be talking with a representative from the Missoula Aging Services, one of our great area agencies on aging here in Montana, Gabe Gores. Gabe, nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about, let's just start talking about the area agency and Missoula Aging Services and what that all looks like in our community.
Yeah, so here at Missoula Aging Services, we are a AAA, which is the Area Agency on Aging, serving Missoula County. And our mission here at Missoula Aging Services is to support the independence, dignity, and health of older adults and those who care for them.
Right. So, you know, in general, because we do have area agencies all over the state, in general, what kind of services can a person find, for instance, at Missoula Aging Services?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a lot of services that we can provide. We have a great resource department that can help, that are SHIP counselors, SHIP certified counselors. They can also provide caregiver consults. We have a staffed call center so that when you call Missoula Aging Services, you get to speak to a person who can direct your call. We have one phone number that is answered by a person so that we can try to be as helpful as we possibly can. We also have in our in-home support services, we have in-home care that we can offer. We have a care management department, and we have a lot of volunteer services as well.
Right. So how long has Missoula Aging Services been in business?
Yeah, we've been serving clients since 1982.
Wow. Oh, wow. So you've come a long, long way, and all those services that you just rattled off are a great resource for the folks out in the community, especially there in Missoula County.
Yeah. I almost forgot to mention one of our biggest ones, which is our Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. So actually with the pandemic, we actually saw an increase in meals, and our meals were actually increased by 40%.
Wow.
Since COVID hit. And so we've been able to serve, and we're so thankful for our volunteers that help out in getting those meals out and delivered to people.
So, speaking of COVID, Gabe, is Missoula Aging Services sort of continuing to recover and work with COVID pandemic kinds of issues? Are you seeing a lot in your community?
Yeah. So what we found, there was already a lot of high need in the community, and we found with COVID that those needs didn't go away, and in many cases they actually increased. So Missoula has done a couple of different things too. I mentioned the meals and the increase in need for people to receive nutrition. Something else that's pretty exciting that we've been able to do is we created a program called Lifelong Connections, where we have the program is set up and helps people get connected to technology, learn about technology. So far we've served 80 people who've received tablets, and this has helped them get connected, helped combat that isolation, and then also help them attend their telehealth appointments so that they can maintain contact with their providers.
Gabe, that sounds awesome. What a great idea. So you're actually helping people train on technical kinds of devices so that they can use them at home?
Yes. Yeah. And we actually provide them with the tablet. Once they complete their training, we have the tablet that they get to take home and use.
So how does a person sign up for something like that? Because that sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it is. They can always just call. Our one number is 728-7682. Speak to the call center and request that that's something that they're interested in pursuing, and then we'll connect them.
And how many did you say 80 folks have gone through the program?
Yes, we've served 80 people now.
So what made you decide to do something like this? Because I think it's a great service.
I think just recognizing that isolation is already something that was present, and now when we went into lockdown and people weren't able to leave their homes, and a lot of healthcare providers were offering the telehealth function, but the issue was that people either didn't have access to technology or didn't have the know-how of how to use it, and so we saw it as a real need to get them connected to that.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think you're right, bang on. People don't know how to do it. They want to learn and they need help learning, but they don't know where to reach out. So that's why this is such a great idea for you guys to be working on. And I assume that really helped with socialization and other kinds of things as well.
Yeah, we actually also saw an increase in our support groups attendance, because all of our support groups traditionally had been held in person.
Sure.
And with moving to a remote setting or having them in Zoom, we actually saw a 66% increase in attendance in our support groups. And we found that there was a lot of people who wanted to attend, but they weren't always able to leave their homes, and they weren't always able to leave the person who they're tasked with taking care of. And so being able to be able to log on and get that support was crucial for them.
Well, and just to feel connected to the rest of the world as well. And also probably learning some new skills and feeling really good about that. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, folks, we have a whole lot more to talk about. We've told you about the Missoula Aging Services, and that's just one of our fine area agencies on aging here in Montana. We're going to put a number up for you in case you're not in the Missoula area, that you can get a hold of yours. And we have a whole lot more to talk about. We're going to talk about memory care, dementia, and Alzheimer's. Please come back, because we want you to have the best information we can give you.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
When I found out it was diabetes, my first thought was, Barb, you need help. You have to take control of this. There is help. My doctor gave me a phone number. I called and signed up with a diabetes educator. There is help. I have to put blinders on when I walk past the bakery counter. I can feel my blood sugar go up. You succeed a little at a time. If you have diabetes, help is available. You do not have to do it alone.
Ask your doctor about diabetes education or visit montana211.org.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Aging Horizons. We're here with Gabe Gorst today talking about Missoula Aging Services and also some other sort of new services that are coming down the pike at Missoula Aging Services in addition to everything they already have on deck. We have Gabe with us. Hi Gabe.
Hello.
Nice to have you. We were just talking about the pandemic and some of the pressures that has put on folks over the last 2.5 years. And I'm sure that you've seen increased need because of that in just all kinds of ways. Is that true?
It is true. Yes. One of the things that we realized was as the needs were increasing, there was also this gap in people who had either been diagnosed with Alzheimer's or related dementia, or were starting to experience memory issues or issues with their memory. And so we wanted to try to address and help that group, specifically people who are living alone with dementia and people who are caretaking people with dementia. And so we received a grant from the Administration for Community Living to create those services.
Super. So tell us about what you're working on.
Yeah, so as I said, our goal, we really identified there are two groups that we set about in this grant to try to provide services for. So the first group is people who are living alone with Alzheimer's or related dementia. And so our goal is to match those people with a care manager to provide assessments, with the ultimate goal being how can we provide this person with support to age in place and age where they want to. There's a lot of there are places in Missoula that there's assisted living and nursing homes that have dementia care, but the options and supports for people who are living in their home are fewer and fewer. And so we really wanted to try to create that kind of bridge and be able to help provide those services.
Sure. And are you also looking at how to sort of support the caregivers as well?
Yeah, so that's the second part of the group that we're trying to help support is many of the people who have Alzheimer's or related dementia have a live-in caregiver, and often it's a family caregiver who's taking care of them. And those are our unsung heroes who are providing those services and often needing a lot of support themselves. And so we have a portion of this program that is directly to support that family caregiver.
Super. And what does that mean to directly support the caregiver? How does that look in real life?
Yeah. So I think a lot of times our caregivers are so used to their person who they're taking care of and answering and providing information about their person. And it's not very often that somebody says, well, how are you doing? And how has this whole journey been for you? And what are your stresses and what are your burdens and what's the hardest part of all this? And so providing them with a person, a family caregiver support specialist who's trained in identifying what's going on and kind of those stressors and being that person that they can come and talk to and reach out to when there's a change in condition or some things are and something in the situation is changing or becoming more challenging, they have a contact that they can then reach out to and explain what's going on and get that support for themselves.
Right. So the caregivers, are you seeing an uptick in caregivers coming for that kind of support?
Yeah, we are. So the Alzheimer's Association thinks that there's that 1 in 10 an older adult in Montana has Alzheimer's or related dementia. In our numbers, we estimate that there's around 3,000 older adults living with Alzheimer's or related dementia in Missoula and Ravalli counties.
Wow.
So we're seeing a number of clients that as we're getting the word out that we have this program, our numbers and our referrals are increasing.
Yeah. And Gabe, you mentioned trained managers or helpers. I don't know what you called them, but that would help folks, navigate through. Are these folks that are working for Missoula Aging Services, or are they another referral somewhere?
They are. They're a part of our care management team. So they are care managers. They so if somebody is referred to our program, we match them with the care manager who goes out and does a home visit and meets with the client in their home. They do a variety of different assessments, all gauging to make sure that the home environment and that the person is as connected to resources that are available in the community. And also there's a large piece of that they're making sure that the home is safe for the person to live in and be in. And so as the person is on that, on the grant or on in our program, then we can also, if there are some home safety concerns, there's a portion of this program that can go to help have home modifications done on the person's home to make it safer. So things like installation of grab bars and things like that.
Yeah. So it sounds like a really great wraparound service. Let's just talk real briefly about should they just call Missoula Aging Services if they're interested in finding out?
Yeah, absolutely. I always encourage people to just call. You can talk to somebody that can direct you to where you need to be. We also on our website have a page or a portion of our website that is directly correlated to this program and what we're trying to do. There's a portion on there too for family caregivers. If you are a family caregiver taking care of somebody who has Alzheimer's or related dementia, you can reach out through that. Our website has a way for you to request a meeting with a care manager that is HIPAA compliant, so
Great.
People can go through the website.
Well, we'll be right back and talk some more about that, Gabe. Thanks so much. Stay with us, folks.
My goal is to keep my patients safe, and my goal from the beginning has always been to keep my patients safe. Most of the time, these are elderly people. Taking care of these people, it terrifies me, and I'm scared for patients who are not vaccinated. I'm petrified for these folks because we just see how quickly they can go down in flames. But the way out of the pandemic is the vaccine, and we have it. It's at our grasp. We can end this. Game over if we get enough people vaccinated.
I think the most pleasant surprise when we turned 65 and signed up for Medicare Part B was finding out about our Welcome to Medicare preventive visit.
It was free, and it gave us the opportunity to visit with our doctors and establish a plan for our health going forward.
They reviewed our medical history, measured our height, weight, blood pressure, and counseled us on other risk factors.
To learn more about Medicare's free or low-cost preventive and wellness benefits, call your local SHIP counselor at 800-551-3191. I mentioned it's free, right?
Twice.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, and my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare summary notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
Hi folks, welcome back to Aging Horizons. We're here with Gabe Gorse today from Missoula Aging Services. Hi Gabe.
Hello.
Hey, I stepped all over your last comment. Why don't you go ahead and finish what you were saying in our last segment?
Oh yeah, that's no problem. Well, what I would just want people to know is that on our website, we have ways for people to request meetings, and you can look and find a lot of material and resources around what this program is about. So if you have that capability, that's a great place to start. And if you don't, that's totally fine. 728-7682. We'll get you in touch with us.
Super. And we'll put those numbers and your website up on the screen so folks can see that and take advantage of those great resources. So let's talk a little bit more about your grant, because you're working with some really fine partners, aren't you?
We are, yeah. So we have partnered up with Ravalli County Council on Aging so that they can provide the same services that we're providing here in Missoula, down in Ravalli County. And then we also are partnering with Opportunity Resources, because what is found is that people with intellectual or developmental disabilities are at a higher or at an increased rate of developing Alzheimer's or related dementia.
Oh, great. Well, and so you've got these partners that and you've got this great grant from ACL that you're working on. How should people, if they're out in the audience watching this, how should people, what's the first step they need to take? Do they need a diagnosis, for instance?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. You don't need to have a diagnosis. If you're witnessing, if the person who you're caring for, you're having some suspicions and concerns about their memory issues, please reach out to us. A part of what this grant is also getting connected, getting the clients connected with the medical teams and talking with doctors to seek out if they would like to seek out a diagnosis and getting them connected. But you do not have to have a diagnosis to participate in this grant.
Great. So how's it going? Are you seeing a lot of folks that are wanting to be a part of this?
We are, yeah. Our numbers are, as we're getting the word out,
right,
this is a service that we're providing, we're starting to see more and more. And it's really been wonderful, because I think there wasn't this service available before. And so when people would have Alzheimer's or related dementia, there wasn't always a clear place for them to go and get connected to services. And so they would kind of bounce around between APS, fire department, police department, and now we're really able to provide them and go in and provide a service that's really helping people and change lives.
Gabe, that sounds pretty great, because you're right. We want to avoid law enforcement with these folks, because that's not what they need. They need assistance medically, mentally, whatever, but they don't need to be in law enforcement hands.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a bit more about the process, because want to make sure that everybody gets all the information they need. If they want to find out, they can go on your website. They can call you. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so once they've maybe reached out and made that contact, the next steps that will be is they will be connected to, if it's a person who is living alone with Alzheimer's or related dementia, they'll be connected to a care manager who will come in and do those assessments. If it's somebody who's taking care of a person with Alzheimer's or related dementia or memory concerns, then they'll receive a contact from our family caregiver support specialist.
Okay.
And we'll really try to just, and again, the idea is, are you connected to those services that will be most beneficial to you? Do you have a plan? Do you need to create a plan? And how can we assist with that in making the proper referrals?
And Gabe, when you say that they are going to come in, the care manager will do some assessments, they actually come to the person's house?
That's correct, yes.
And then,
Yeah.
and they're not only doing assessments, but they're also looking to make sure that there's a safe environment.
Mm-hmm. We want to make sure people understand is one of the biggest fears. People want to age in place and they want to stay where in their homes and where they're comfortable. And the intention of this program is to do exactly that. We want people to be able to stay where they want to for as long as it's safe to do so. And so we're not going in to try to assess a person's ability to live on their own. We're coming in and saying, how can we make this as safe as possible for you to stay where you want to stay?
Nice, so that it's more of a win-win than just saying right away, oh yeah, you got to go to a facility because you can't be here anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration.
So, and then just a couple of more words about the caregiver support, because I'm really thrilled to hear about that. Talk a little bit about that before we go.
Yeah, so for our caregiver support program, we have some of the similar assessments because we want to make sure that the home is safe for both the caregiver and the person they're taking care of. Really, we want to try to help those people who are feeling that stress and carrying that the weight and the majority of all of those caregiving tasks, and help them take care of themselves. Because if they aren't able to stay healthy, then they're not going to be able to take care of their person.
Right, and many times that caregiver is a family member, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Most often.
Yes, and so they really need that support because we know that caregivers get sick and sometimes pass away more quickly than the patients.
That's true. Yeah. We also have great support groups that we can connect them with that are, as I talked about earlier on, that are held remotely through Zoom.
Right. Well, Gabe, it's been just wonderful having you on the show today, and I hope you'll come back and tell us how this goes, especially the caregiver support part. I'm really excited about that. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Yep. And folks, reach out. If you have an idea that someone in your life is having issues like this, reach out. The area agencies are there to help provide you with resources to take care of your family and take care of yourself. For Aging Horizons, I'm Kimmy Everman. Thanks for being with us.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.